Welcome back to Limin Professionals, episode 3. Tonight's guest is a fellow HBCU attendee and an SCSU alumni, like your boy. She is a public health nutritionist. She's a fellow carnivalist since 2008. So she in this business a long time now. She was at 6th place in the Fitness Atlantic fitness model competition that she participated in for the first time ever. She's one of my goddaughter's mother, and I have plenty. And she's the owner of NutriDS. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome my friend of 23 years now. That is a whole human and some with children and a whole lot going on. That's long time. Welcome, Danielle Smiley. Danielle.
Hey.
You're lucky I said he's Smiley.
Wow, it's Danielle Smiley-Daniel, sir.
Right now, you Danielle.
That's fine. That's, as long as you put that hyphen on the end of there, I'm okay with it.
So Danielle, tell the people where you're from, who you are, and introduce yourself now.
I am Danielle Smiley-Daniel. I am from Miami, Florida, born and raised in the county of Dade. And I am currently in just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. I am a wife, mother, friend, sister, daughter. I am every woman. And I'm a public health nutritionist.
I am every woman.
I am.
Because it's International Women's Day, I'll let you slide on that one.
You like it.
Yeah. What was life like attending at HBCU?
It was awesome. I've always been in magnet programs or, on softball teams and athletic teams where I was always the only chocolate chip, the only black girl, the only black girl in my class, on my team, whatever it was. So the HBCU experience for me was one that I welcomed, and I'm so thankful for it to this day. Like, it's nice to go somewhere and everyone is a variety of you, the different shades are similar, but everybody is so different. So I learned so much and I've made lifelong friends. I made mistakes. I made very good choices. I grew up a lot. It was a fertile ground to develop me into the person that I am. So man.
You, as well as myself, became members of different organizations at school to kind of get assimilated into college life and start meeting people from all over and that type of thing. What were your most favorite experiences and which organization did you represent? That was one of your favorites.
Well, my two favorite would have been, I actually was on scholarship for fast pitch softball. So I was a part of the South Carolina State softball team. So that was fun because that was basically my first family when I got there. We traveled and just spent time together talking and growing, and it was good. And then in spring 2000, I pledged Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And that has been an awesome experience. Again, lifelong friends, sisterhood, connections, and not even just, what it is? It's not even just solely the connections through Zeta. It was just joining Greekdom because it opens up so many doors. And once somebody finds out that you're Greek and what organization you're a part of, and everybody talks a little trash back and forth to each other, folks are looking out. I've had the opportunity to have my brand featured in situations and given chances that I could not probably could have done on my own, but it would have taken more time. So I'm thankful for that, like that rapport building and relationships.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually where I got exposed to like planning and organizing fun events. I remember, so as a member of the Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, my first year I wanted to be involved in everything because when you come out, you're so eager to get active and start doing the things that you saw the members of the fraternity or sorority do, which kind of drew your attention, right?
Yeah.
So I was in everything. I was volunteering to go speak to high school students about coming to college. But one of the most famous things I loved doing was I became the chairman. Actually, I was the chairman of the entertainment committee for every organization I was
Of
on.
course you were.
Student orientation leaders, honors program, and now Kappa Alpha Psi. So my first big event that I had to plan was the Miss Kappa Alpha Psi pageant. Enjoyed myself because number one, the screening process alone was amazing.
I can't.
So it not only got a chance to organize something that was that grand for campus of a what we were 5,000-6,000 students at that point.
5,000.
So to organize something for that many people at that scale, and the process of going through screening and training them to walk and bringing in people with this specialty to coach them and help them answer questions professionally and actually do it like we see it on TV.
Yeah.
It got me an opportunity to one network because I had to find those specialists first who on campus had those talents, may have done this thing in the past, to kind of learn from them as well so that they could become the coaches. It was a lot of logistics. We had to organize sound and tickets and ticket purchase and process and all these type of things that kind of groomed what LPTS is today.
Oh, you said so your ticket sales and your getting a hold of tickets was the beginning of
a whole process.
Carnival.
It was a whole process. So it is like the whole combination of all the talk we used to talk on campus about life in Trinidad and Carnival and all this type of thing, and getting people like you excited to try it for the first time. And now doing all these events on campus where I have to meet with people who have event spaces and DJs and decor people and coaches to coach girls to walk and talk and all these different networks that are built up. I was able to then use those things for different purposes once I left South Carolina State, including when I got back to Trinidad, organizing these carnival packages, because I've been to it before. Now it's just slotting the different resources I need to be able to put the package together and form the team that would then execute everything. So the college experience is very rewarding once you kind of dive all the way in and try to consume as much as it can offer. And
so what did you feel like when you came to Orangeburg, South Carolina from Trinidad? What was that like?
What I was expecting New York, because where we come from the Caribbean to the States, most of the times we went to New York.
Yeah.
So in my mind, and in a lot of Caribbean people's minds, everywhere in the US looks like New York. So now I land in this place that has a bunch of trees, where the buildings, where the yellow cabs, all these type of things. We landed there and I was totally confused. It's like, why are there cows on the side of the road?
Yeah.
This is not.
And there were cows on the side of the road.
This is not where I come from. What's going on here? And then you pull up into Orangeburg and it's just like wide expanses of field.
Yeah.
And then you pop up in this small town with these small houses, and then all of a sudden you're in this big campus in the middle of nowhere. So it was a culture shock in terms of the environment. But then you get on campus and you see everybody that look like you.
Yeah.
So that part of it was exciting. I remember I got on campus the first day. It was me, Barry, Damien. We got on campus that first day, dropped our suitcases in the dorm after we checked in, and we start walking the campus to start meeting people. And there was there was a DJ on the plaza
Mhm.
playing, of course, down south hip hop,
You know
church
what it
music,
is.
church music. So that was our first exposure to Mystical and Master P and all
Know
of
what it
that.
is. I
Yeah,
love
and there
it.
was our first sight was a guy doing the worm on concrete in the middle of the plaza to down south hip hop. But there were so many people out there. And one of the things that always attracted people to us, as soon as we opened our mouth and they heard the accent, oh, can you say my name? They try to talk to you more so they can hear you talk more. So we met a lot of people that first day just off of the accent.
And
And
I thought that that was so funny because I would have, I mean, did they mistake you for being from Charleston or from being
yes,
Geechee?
they
Yeah.
thought we were from Charleston in the first few sentences, and then they heard the little twang change a little bit. So then they kind of went from Charleston to Jamaica because there's only
Yeah,
one
of
Caribbean
course.
country. There's one Caribbean country. When you have a Caribbean accent, you're from Jamaica.
Sir.
So yeah, but it was a really good experience in the first year because we got to meet so many people and got exposed to so much.
Mhm.
And the honors program had things for us like honors philosophy, where they kind of talk to you about any topic with life in the US type of thing. We had a cultural enrichment program where we had to attend these different types of cultural events every week.
Mhm.
Every Thursday, you have to put on your suit and go attend a play or some
Yep.
type of performance or some kind of thing. So we got really exposed to a lot in our freshman year. I was excited. I
Good.
was so excited that I wanted to participate in a lot of different organizations because of what I saw them doing. So that's why I started getting very involved my sophomore year. Became
Mhm.
a SOL. So now I was helping freshmen who come in to get a
I feel like that's where I remember you as an SOL.
became a SOL. I became the entertainment chair for the International Students Association. I was the entertainment chair for the honors program.
But see, so that's what's always got me about you is to be like an introvert. You're involved in everything, and I was just the opposite. Like I wanted to be alone and quiet, and let me stick to the people that I want, like that selective entertainment. But you were involved in everything. So are you a true introvert?
So that's where the two sides of it comes from, right? That's why I call myself an ambivert.
Okay, there you
Because
go.
the planning and organizing and all that is more behind the scenes. But what my joy came from putting on the event and watching people's response to it.
Mhm.
That's where my joy came from. Not necessarily being in the middle of the crowd. It's like watching the people attend the event, have so much fun, and then go run them out about it to tell people to go make sure you go to the next one.
So did
They
you
have
feel
no clue who did it.
people knew who did it?
So
But would you say that once that's over, like 2020, we went to Carnival, acted a fool, had a blast. Who knew that was going to be the last one for a minute? But once you come back, do you feel like you hide away to kind of recharge your battery from all of the
yes,
people and the energy?
yes, I definitely need me time after something like
Yeah.
Carnival. After, like you saw this year, the day I got back is actually the day that the week that the US shut down. I
Mhm.
came back on March 1st. Everybody had already come back, but I spent the weekend in Miami to go on the
I
beach
remember.
and
Yeah.
just sit down on the water, sit down on the side. You couldn't go in the water because it was cold as hell still. But just to sit on the beach and listen to the wave sounds and just relax and come down before I go back to work. But I always need that. So I always do like a solo trip after Carnival, which is
Mhm.
for me. You went on one of them. They went to Jamaica. That was my
Yeah.
personal trip after Carnival to just have fun and not do too much organizing with too many people and have fun myself. Although I do have fun on the Carnival trips as
Yeah,
well.
but that's
It's a
work.
lot of
That's
work.
work. Yeah.
So I do
I,
everything with
I
the group. And then when I go back home, not home, back to the hotel, I'm organizing for the next day.
I never knew how you did it. I was just like, I know he is like exhausted. So that's why finding those pictures over the years with you sleeping in a fit, I could never, but you did it and you made it look good. More power to you.
Yeah, and that's what happened. What I did in college is still what drives me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I can be behind the scenes and orchestrate the entire thing, put it together. But the best part for me is going all the way back to the bar and watching everybody enjoy themselves, hug each other, strangers hug themselves, hug each other up and jump up and down, screaming LPT. I will never forget that moment in Soca Brainwash. I just went to the bar, and by the time I came back, I think that year I had about 60, 67 people. And we assume our position front and center and everything. I walked back from the bar. This whole group of people were just hugging each other, jumping up and down, and just yelling together in unison and having a good time. Drinks in their hands, spilling over everybody. Nobody cares. That, for me, is where the trip is worth it. It's not about the money for me. It's not about the grand affair of putting on a big carnival event and all that type of thing. Is for me is the people enjoying it, and then the long lasting relationships that come out of it.
You've created a lot of relationships, or you've put people in the same place to create relationships there. So I mean, I'm always saying thank you, because I wouldn't have been in Trinidad um and met my husbands.
You know what I'm saying? That is one major thing that is also a big benefit. It is the organic relationships that form through those events. And most of our relationships in this crew are formed from Carnival, because that was the one thing I was focused on doing. But we've done so much since, which is a nice segue into the topic of the day.
Okay.
The topic of the day, as I mentioned earlier, was about forming a social circle and how important is your tribe to your vibe.
Well, I just like good people that are drama free. I can't deal. And I'm big on positive energy. Like, some people just drain you, and I definitely distance myself from those people. What I've found with LPTS is it's a certain kind of breed of person that's a part of it. And like, people were asking you, like, how do I get membership? Well, you don't. Like, you get invited, and if you don't make it, like, you get out. But there's what I appreciate about LPTS is that there's so many people that have a good time and know how to have a good time without the drama. But it's more than that. These people are professionals, very well established in their careers. Their names are well known. And so, COVID, 2020 with COVID, definitely demonstrated a lot about, the people that you keep around you. For me, my parents are in Miami. My family is in Florida. I don't have family in Connecticut. It's George, me, and Geneva, and that's it.
Mm.
And because of COVID, I wasn't able to go home. My parents are older. I didn't want to go home and risk anything. And so I was here. And the introvert in me, as COVID started, was like, oh, well, I just finished Carnival. I don't even like spending time with a whole bunch of people. It's fine. Until like months went by and you're still alone, or you're with your core people. You're not able to spend time with the people that you enjoy. And it let me know my relationships are very important. I'm not around a lot of people. I have a very tight core circle of people that I spend time with, and I can be transparent and vulnerable with, and share dreams and fears. And they are cheerleaders and helping me, providing steps to help me get where I'm going.
Yeah.
And why would you not want your tribe to do that for you? Why can't you do that for somebody else? Like, if you're not talking about stuff that's about something and about building and about connections and growth, then I don't know, like, is your tribe worth it? Like, my tribe is worth it. I'm growing with my tribe.
Yeah.
And that's important. And it's also because your tribe grows with you. I met you in college. We were doing carnival. I was single, ready to mingle, having a good time, and we've remained friends, like you said, over 20 years, and we've seen each other during different points in our lives. Right now, I'm an entrepreneur. I became a wife and a mother, and I'm growing in my career. I'm in a different place mentally, and I can talk to you about that. But at the same time, when I need to let my hair down and have a drink that's not water, I can do that too. And I feel just as comfortable. And I mean, for me, that's what your tribe should be about.
So how important is it to make sure that your social circle is something that you can feed off of as well as contribute to? Is that important in forming a social circle?
Yes. I don't know everything.
and
And I don't want to know everything. And there's things that are going to come up that I'm not well versed in, but I'm certain I can find somebody in my circle that is well versed in it and very well passionate about it. So, excuse me, one of my joys in spending time with our circle is when we go to Titusville and we have Sunday morning, everybody wakes up and we have breakfast and we sit down and we talk. And it could be about movies, it could be about carnival, but it could also, and most times it is about current events and politics. And I love to listen to the opinions being thrown, but also the challenges that are being thrown. People going to Google, people going back to WhatsApp messages, like challenging each other. And it's great because some people get a little heated. It can get a little passionate, but you're not walking away from those conversations learning nothing. You've learned something in those conversations. To me, that's value. Why I want to learn from the people that I'm around. It should be what do you call it? Your Lyman professionals. It should be a lime, but you should also be able to take something back from it that you can apply to another part of your life.
Yeah. The other thing is having the resources available, right? Because another thing about this crew is that everybody always has ideas, but they may not have, number one, the knowledge to execute on the idea or the resources to execute on the idea. So it always pays to, number one, get the feedback from the people who will give you their honest opinion on what you're trying to do so that you could kind of tweak. For example, just launching a business. Like the first line was with Dr. Ali, who is now making a business out of coaching people who want to start businesses, because there's so much demand now for people becoming entrepreneurs and having their own business and that type of thing. But some people just don't know where to start. So that's one reason where that's one benefit of having a circle that you can learn from. The other thing is sometimes you just need somebody to listen.
Yes.
We saw last night on the Meghan Markle interview with Oprah that she just needed somebody to speak to about what she was going through mentally, and that was not afforded to her. And look how it ended up. You know what I mean? She didn't want to remain on this earth because she simply didn't have anybody to talk to express how she was feeling and get some type of feedback on how she should approach the situation.
I'm thankful for her husband, because that's a lot of pressure for him, I'm certain, to be a part of that family and everything that comes along with it. And for you to decide that you're going to join with someone else and didn't let that heaviness overrule what you guys have is a big deal. He saved her, and I'm so thankful for him, for her.
Yeah. Another conversation that Dr. Ali and I had was about passion, right? So how to identify a passion. And then once you've identified your passion, how to execute. You have situations where people are losing their jobs. So
Yeah.
some people have to get creative now in how to generate new ways of earning income. How can somebody who is very introverted form a social circle that they can then feed off of in order to execute on the passion they've identified?
I feel like there shouldn't be any pressure attached to it. I can't, I can't. It needs, for me, it has to flow very naturally. And watching how people move on social media or the comments that they make in the groups that you're a part of, because I'm certain you're already a part of some groups,
Yeah.
and not being afraid to put it out there. Like, this is what I think that I want to do. Do you know anybody that you think could assist with this or could help me with next steps? You have to ask for help. And that's been something that I've had to learn. Being an introvert, I tended to want to do things on my own, or, read and do my own research. But if you ask for help, people want to help you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and they can do it in a safe space too, right? Different people have different safe spaces. Some
mhm.
people like social media. Some people like certain types of social media. Some would not interact on Facebook, but you see they're very active on LinkedIn. So I think one of the recommendations too is find where you're comfortable,
Yeah.
interact with people, and there are so many different resources to get tapped into the resources that you're looking for. If you have a certain idea, there are a lot of people doing what you're thinking about. There are a lot of groups on LinkedIn, there are a lot of groups on Facebook that you can join and ask questions to people who have gone through it so they can give you honest opinions. They can give you resources or information that you could go do your own research. You don't necessarily have to talk to that person
Right.
about all the details of what you're planning to do,
I would
but
also
they'll send
add,
you a link to some website or some document that you can review in detail on your own on your own time.
that you have to build a level of confidence to bet on you, because nobody else is going to bet on you if you're not betting on you.
Yeah.
And once you do that and you start taking steps, people are going to want to connect you to get you to grow. So sometimes you do have to step out of that comfort zone. I'm not a networking person. I hate going to networking events. It just feels like small talk. Oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Painful. But I do try to put myself in situations that are a little uncomfortable to push myself to then engage with people, and that's how you grow. So it took me, I realized that I took a lot for granted as far as stress relief in this rat race that we're in, because you are on autopilot.
Yeah.
So when you had a chance to kind of get a breather, the things that you would normally do for stress relief, I didn't have access to anymore. For me, I love the gym. I want to pick up weights. I want to be around like loud music and smell some sweat or something, because that gives me inspiration to work out.
Yeah.
Well, COVID, people are in the gym, but I'm not comfortable going to the gym.
Yeah.
So it's forced me to look at different avenues of still chasing that happy place.
There's so many options that open itself up when you're actually paying attention. But I think on a daily basis before COVID, we were so busy
You're
with,
on autopilot.
yeah, we
Mhm.
found a lot of different beautiful sites across Baltimore. Where you climb up, you do a hike for like 2 hours and you end up on the pinnacle of this mountain overlooking all of Maryland at sunset. Like
Mm.
when we found the first two, it's like we got on a quest now to find where else can we go that has this type of view. And it gave you a better appreciation for nature.
Mhm.
And during the hike, we got to spend so much quality time together, getting to know each other.
I
Yes.
wonder what it's gonna be like when things get back to some type of normalcy.
Uh-huh.
If people are still going to want to do those things that you just expressed,
Yeah,
you know,
I think we will. I'm definitely going to incorporate more of
yeah,
that because of how relaxing it was. So funny enough, this kind of ties back to the topic of the day as well, right? Because you're still finding new tribes. Like
mhm.
I saw you're popping up on my watch all the time, Miss Peloton. All the time.
Let's go.
So you now have your Peloton tribe. And I see a lot of people in the crew actually joined in. They
Yeah.
got their
Yeah.
Peloton bag, or sharing your usernames. So people are finding new and innovative ways to find new tribes that also interest them or
Yeah.
do things that interest them. And I think that as well will kind of be incorporated in life moving forward, because you've got so embedded now in these new things. Why give them away because we have to go back to the office now? I mean, I think people
No.
will be forced now to kind of incorporate work-life balance. It was just a thing before. Now, after experiencing
Yes.
what it is to close your laptop, because you basically live in your office now, and it's harder to step away because
Yes.
you're always going to remember the next thing that you forgot to do, and your laptop is already open, so why not do it now? And then you realize it's 10 o'clock at night and you're still in the
Nope.
office.
Nope. So what I learned is it starts like that, when you transition from being in your office to working at home, and now you're working longer hours.
Yeah,
I'm learning to say no. I'm
exactly.
learning what the end is, because there's life outside of that.
Yeah, and
So
your
I'm
bike
learning.
is right next to your laptop, so it's
Yeah,
easy to
come on,
transition. You
man.
don't have traffic to
No.
go to get to the gym, and your tribe is over there. So you have your tribe at work that gets productive work done, but you look forward to also interacting with
Yes.
your tribe in different ways where you like to work out. You know what I mean? Where you
Yeah.
like to hike.
No.
We met people now who want to drive down here when we do hikes, so they
Oh, that's
can
what's
join
up.
us. So we're forming those new tribes that match our vibe.
And it's the same thing with Peloton. There's a group that I'm in called Black Girl Magic. And I mean, the people that are in there span like extremes as far as what they're into and the things that they do professionally and the things that they enjoy.
Yeah.
When this world opens back up, or we can go out with masks on or whatever, and we can finally ride together as a crew or a team,
Yeah.
listen, you're going to get all types of selfies and pictures from me, because I feel like I've known them. They're cousins
Yeah. And
now.
all of us who are now posting and sharing our hiking pictures, we're now gonna get together
Yeah.
on the weekends. Hey, this is the next hiking spot. Who wants to come? And it's gonna turn into a group event. We're doing
Yeah.
it separately now because we have to, but I think we're finding new spaces and new tribes to kind of still match your vibe, but do it virtually.
I feel like we've just been held captive, and you didn't realize how important it was to have that human to human connection with people that mean a lot to you. It's time to demonstrate that. It's time to show it.
Yeah, I think we have a newfound appreciation for the value of relationships, number one, and a newfound appreciation for the type of people
Yes.
within our network.
If I have a limited time here that I want to spend,
Yeah.
it's not worth it. Let me spend my time with somebody that cares about me and that I care about, and it's enriching,
Yeah.
not just wasting time.
And it's actually given us focus. Like you get to focus on what the person is really, what their passions are. You get to know people a lot better now that you don't have all the other distractions. And you get to spend a lot more quality time
Yeah.
getting to know that person. I know me and Danny have learned a lot about each other in the past year.
I'm sure you have.
A lot.
But you know what? Listen, that COVID relationship business. So for me, I'm used to, so you have your routine.
Yeah.
I have my routine. I got my routine with Geneva. George has his routine. He travels. I work out, blah, blah, blah. You got your schedule. Well, COVID put brakes on that.
Yeah.
He wasn't traveling. And so now he's here interrupting the schedule that I have with her. So I know that we were at each other's necks. Like, I just need to go to Stop and Shop and just shop, just to get away from you for a second. But it's also given us this time to just be around each other.
Yep.
And not have to rush off to do this or that. Like, we're just here. So let's talk. It was 2 weeks ago. We belly laughed so hard, harder than we've laughed in years.
Exactly.
And that felt amazing. And I want to do more of that.
Yeah, it's like your focus shifts from, oh, you got to go to work, you got traffic to get home, you
Yeah.
got to go to the store after, you got to run these errands. It's like you had so much of a mechanic reaction to your day
Hmm.
and your schedule. Now you have no choice but to look at each other and
Yeah,
have conversation. So you have your own business as well.
I
Tell us
do.
about your business. What is your focus? What can people reach out to you to get help with, that type of thing?
Yeah, so my business is called NutriDS. I am a nutrition consultant. I'm an advocate for, supporter of, and friend to moms and moms to be. So I tend to focus on moms and those that are looking to get pregnant, usually around 35 years of age and higher. Um, because they have time to focus on what's important as far as their intake. So this year, up to this point, I've done a lot of one-to-one type sessions. This year for 2021, I've broadened it and started working with groups and organizations to spread the word and talk about accountability and small changes that they can make. So 2021 is about growth for me.
Okay. What are some of these services you offer?
So while I still offer customized meal plans, and I think I always will, I don't recommend those first because I feel once I create a customized meal plan for you and I take everything into consideration that you like, once you're finished with that meal plan, you're going to go back to eating like you were before. So, what I'm encouraging clients to do is to take the walk with me and have nutrition education sessions and consultation sessions so that they're more educated about, what their current medical diagnosis might be and changes that they can modify in their behavior and their intake to benefit their health.
Okay. Tell us about some of the stuff that you've done this year.
So this year I've done a couple of podcasts. I was asked to contribute in an Exo Nicole article about supplements, and that was awesome. I am partnered right now with NESB, which is the National Society of Black Engineers. I'm doing a wellness seminar with them. We're going through June, and that's been awesome. A couple of the titles have been like, Hey Sis, Prioritize You. And then we have one that's directed at the men called Protect the Kings. And then we even have one, this is very important, about it's called The Kickback. And we all love happy hour, but it's talking about a way to do happy hour smarter depending on your goals. So you're not just going out there drinking and eating chips and pretzels while you're drinking your scotch or whatever it is that you drink. So it's been fun.
And the Nesby thing was actually initiated by another member of the crew, right?
Yep, Cam came through. I'm telling you, I don't want nobody around me that I can't add value and they can't add, value. I can't. That's it's not a waste. You have people around you and they play their positions, but if it's up to me to create my team, I'm gonna create a masterful team.
Yeah. Yeah, they say if you're not learning from your circle, you're in the wrong circle.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And they say you're the average of the people, like the 5 to 6 people you spend the most time with. Like when I heard that and I started looking around, I said start making some changes.
Yeah. And it's about reciprocation too, right? Because sometimes you find yourself as the giver
Yes.
in the circle. Sometimes you also need to be refilled because
Yes.
if you always give, you're going to be emptying yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to refill that cup, and sometimes it's good to be around people that you can learn from, take ideas from,
Hmm.
and, I mean, also build your own brand.
Yeah, I think that you really have to start paying attention to how you feel. If you're spending time with people and you are constantly feeling like tired or drained, that's a sign you're missing it. But if you can hang around people and you feel warm and your heart is full and fulfilled and you're walking away from your exchange bigger and better than you were when you initially started, like that's the team.
Yeah. Yeah, we have so many people in so many different industries. Is like you just kind of have to figure out for yourself, what are you looking for? And we have this joke about the crew all the time. Within 2 phone calls, we can get you to somebody to kind of talk through that idea.
But it's true.
Yeah, it happens all the
It's
time.
true.
So tell us
Yeah.
about there's a nutritionist month that's going on right now.
Yeah.
Tell us about a little
So
bit about that.
so March is National Nutrition Month. So this is where we are right now. The
Mhm.
theme for this year is called Personalize Your Plate. And it was right in line with me as an RD to be, because I feel like cookie cutter doesn't work. And I'm not a person that just stamps, you get a meal plan, you get a meal plan, you get a meal plan. No, nutrition is very individual. It's not just about nutrients. It takes into account your culture. It takes into account like your socialization and the people that you spend time with and memories and all those things that make you feel good. And so this month is about when you're creating, your plate, or you're cooking for your family and you're cooking from your friends for your friends, you can do that in a way that tastes good and it's nutritious and it values your culture. So this month has been awesome.
So where can people find information on NutriDS?
Few places. So on Facebook, you can find me at Nutritionist Danielle Smiley. On Instagram and Twitter, you can find me at NutriDS. That's NutriDS. I have my website, which is www.nutrids.com. So you can find me in a number of places. And if you know somebody in LPTS, you can definitely find me.
All right. Well, we've come to the end of another line. As usual, it was very informative. And of course, it was a lot of fun catching up.
As always.
Nutritionist team.
That's right.
Yeah. So thank you for coming through.
Thank you for the invite, as always.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your business. Thank you for sharing those nuggets. Yes. Hopefully we can get some of those people who are the introverts like we are, and Hush, whoever's saying Ron, shut up, because you're not an introvert. I am sometimes.
Sometimes.
So I think we kind of touched on how we kind of get through that introvert side,
yeah,
in kind of materializing some of the ideas in our head.
It could be done.
Yeah.
But you can share it with like the trusted team, and your trusted team helps you expand farther than that. So
you have to be confident enough to speak it.
Mm-hmm.
And you will speak it into existence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it is. It shall be.
Yes. What is to be is, what was the saying? What is to be is shall be.
What's yours is yours, and what will be, or something like that.
Ain't that.
It was something like that.
We're gonna have to Google that, and I'll put it up on the screen, because
very good.
Jack that up.
Well, you jack that up.
You said it, Brett.